Today we have quite a rare occurrence. Yes, Rocker is actually drinking a stout. This is Overtone and it is a coconut froth. What's it going to be like? Keep watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we are drinking stouts. Yes, and not just any old stout, but this is an Overtone and it is Coconut Froth. It is a 9% coconut latte stout. It's got Magnum hops in it, and I'm sure it's got all kinds of other stuff in it to give that coconutty sort of flavour. So let's get this can of beer. I mean, look at it. It looks quite good. I've had this in my fridge for a couple of months. I actually bought it just before Christmas to have, and I never got around to having it. And I thought, you know, summer's coming. Let's get it. Let's get it over and done with. You know, I know it's getting warmer and all the rest of it. So let's have a stout now. You know, why not? And this is a coconut froth, so a bit different. And I thought, yeah, let's have it tonight. And I'm going to use. I don't use this glass very often, but I thought, yeah, well, it's a stout. Let's have it in this glass. I'm not quite sure what to make of this. So, beer in a glass, it looks black on the screen, but it looks definitely brown. I'm recording this at night, so I've got some sort of, you know, got artificial light there just to create that. And it's definitely a lot browner than it looks there, black. Got a finger of sort of latte sort of head. And I don't think that's going to, it's very sort of bubbly there, so I don't think it's going to stick around too long. So let's see what the aromas are like. Wow, really coconutty. Really like coconut ice, you know, that real sort of sweet, yeah, the sort of coconut you get on cakes and all that sort of stuff. Very, very coconut. I'm not really picking up anything else. The coconut is really the big aroma. Yeah, it smells good. I mean, it does smell a little bit like a Bounty bar. So let's see if it tastes like one. Cheers, everyone. Tastes really coconutty. I'm trying to decide what the body's like though. Yeah, it's not that thick. It's a little bit, you get that little bit of fizziness. There is also a fair bit of, we can see that there, but a fair bit of sediment in there. We can see it there, look at it, there. Almost like it's got real coconut in it. A little bit, I always find that a little bit off-putting. It's overpowering with sweet coconut. I'm sure, you know, when you think of something like a Sabro hop, we've had coconutty flavours before in beers, but this tastes like real coconut thrown in. It's really sweet. It is just like a Bounty bar. There's a sort of chocolatey sort of flavour in there as well from the sort of chocolate malts. I'm not really picking up much in the way of the coffee. It's yeah, I wouldn't say it's overly sort of like a latte, like it says it's a latte, but it's not licoricey. It's not overly strong. It doesn't taste like the 9%. I wonder if there's sediment in it is because look at that. You can see the level of sediment in there. That's quite a lot of sediment. I don't know whether that, I can't actually read the date on it, but as I say, I bought this in December. We're in March now, we're near the end of March. It's only 3 months, so I would have thought that it will probably be, you know, within date and everything. But obviously, sitting in the fridge, it has got quite a lot of sediment in it. As I say, I don't know if you can see that, but that is definitely more brown than it is black. You do get a little bit of fizz in there, which I don't like stouts that have got that fizziness in it. The body is, I think because of the carbonation, it sort of, your mind gets twisted a little bit in terms of what the body's like. I think it's a medium body. I wouldn't say it's thick, but it's not overly light as well. It's just because of that carbonation makes it a little, if you think it's going to be a bit thinner and lighter than it is, but I think it's just the carbonation is a bit high. Flavour wise, It's not bad, actually. It's smooth, it's creamy, it's sweet, it's very sweet. But it's probably one of the best flavours in terms of stouts, because you don't get that overly really dark roasted malts, which, you know, is always a bit off-putting. The coconut and sweetness is something that just overwhelms this whole beer, and it's like drinking it. It's like a dessert. It really is. Really strong coconut, sweet, and that's it. That's the real flavour. There's a sort of subtleness of sweet, milky chocolate though in the background. Not dark chocolate, definitely milky chocolate. So it is as close to a liquidized Bounty than you're going to get, I think. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I mean, we know Overtone make really great beers, and this isn't bad. I mean, the sediment can be a little bit off-putting. There's no, I mean, I'm not trying to work out why they call it coconut froth, because there's not really much of a froth on there. It's pretty much, it doesn't look the best, you know, because it is a bit like pooey brown sort of colour. It really does look like that. If I hold it right up to the light there, I don't think you can see that in there, but you know, it's almost like this a slight yellowy sort of orangey yellow sort of top to it. You can see that even through all that sediment. Yeah, I don't think it's going to win prizes for its looks, whether it's just because of the age of the can, I'm not sure, but it tastes pretty good, and it's smooth. And for me, that are not a big stout lover, the flavours are quite acceptable, and I will probably drink this down because, you know, it tastes pretty good. There's no bitterness in it at all. There's none of that licoricey. There's no sort of that oiliness at all. None of that's there. It's very milky, coconutty flavour. So this is not bad. I wish I had actually opened it soon after I bought it in December, because I wonder whether it would have been better in terms of it, the way that it's sitting in the glass. But it's still pretty good. Let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for Overtone's Coconut Froth. This is a nice looking can. It's just a shame that the beer inside isn't that as nice looking. But the other stuff is not too bad at all. So we'll start with the aroma. So aroma-wise, I mean, it's coconutty, sweet coconut, Bounty bar sort of smelling. It smells like there's real coconut in this, whether there is or not. It doesn't actually say. It may say actually, but the yeah, because it's got milk and everything in it. I'm sure it would say intense flavours of this sweet. No, I can't read it. The writing is tiny on this can. It smells like it's real coconut. It smells good. It's inviting. I'm giving it a 14 for aroma. Appearance. Now this is where we lose points. It's a bit of a muddy brown. It's a dirty brown. It looks like something that you might find in your toilet if you had a bit of a dodgy belly. And it's got loads of sediment in it, and it looks like, I mean, it looks like muddy water really. It's not black like stout. It's more brown. There's more brown colours in it than there is black. So I think it's a bit off-putting when you look at it. It might be because of the age of the can. Well, it's only 3 or 4 months old since I bought it. So I am dropping it down to 5 for appearance, because I think if you see a beer like this and you were poured it, you'd be going, it doesn't look very appealing at all. I'm not having that. So 5 for appearance. Flavour though, pretty good. Like the aroma, it tastes sweet, coconutty. It doesn't taste, it hasn't got that sort of edge of artificialness. It tastes smooth. It's got a little bit of carbonation, a little bit too carved for me. I would have liked a little less. Again, could be because of how long it's been in the can. May have been shaken up about whatever. So it's a bit deceptive in terms of the body. I think I would say it was a medium body. It's still lighter than a lot of stouts. It's not got that oily sort of yeah, it's the best description used, the oily sort of texture of a lot of stouts. It doesn't sort of coat your mouth like that. But it also doesn't have any of the bitterness that you get with stouts. It doesn't have that overly dark roasted malty saltiness about it. It's very sweet and coconutty. I think the body could be better, but in terms of the flavour, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's one of the better flavour stouts that I've ever had. So I'm giving it 34 for flavour. Value for money. Well, you know, it's a 9%. I mean, again, you can't tell that it's 9%. A 9% stout by Overtone. They make great beers up in Glasgow. But, you know, I'm trying to remember how much I paid for it. Probably £6 or something like that. They're always going to be more expensive, you know, a big stout. But I still would give it 7 for value. And my overall experience, well, if you can look beyond the look of it, the flavour's not bad at all. Obviously, if you don't like coconut, you'll hate it because it tastes very coconutty. As I said before, if I'm going to describe it in one line, it'd be, this beer is like a Bounty bar in a beer. It's literally just like that. It's very, very similar in the flavours of Bounty. It's got this sweet milk chocolatey sort of backbone, I suppose you would call to it, but the coconut is up front, centre and at the end, really. It's all the way through it. So it's pretty good. Appearance-wise, is let down because it's got this brown sort of, and it's got lots and lots of sediment in it. Whether that's because it's older, I don't know, but it's a bit brown anyway. And I don't think it would be suddenly black. I think it's that colour that's not inviting. So, but overall, it's a pretty good stout. And I think, you know, I'm regretting not having it earlier. I mean, the other thing I'd say, it says it's a coconut latte stout. I'm not really picking up huge amounts of coffee sort of flavour. If it is, it's very sort of milky coffee because it has that milky chocolatey sort of flavour. Very milky chocolate opposed to dark chocolate, which, you know, is more what you get in stouts is dark chocolate. Again, not a big lover of that. So it's very, very drinkable. I will drink it. So I'm giving it 14 for my overall experience. Totting the scores up, 74. It's a recommended beer. I don't know if it's still available, but what I would say is watch out because, again, this is not the time of the year that you're going to probably be bringing out coconut frothy cafe coffee sort of stouts. So it's definitely a winter autumn drink. So maybe they'll rebrew this at the back end of the year. So if they do, I will probably try and get it again because it's pretty good. And I'd like to get it fresh to see whether it's got less of the sediment and a better sort of body and carb to it. But if you do see it, yeah, let me know. If you've already had it, maybe you had it last year and you thought, I should have reviewed that. It was really good back when I first got it. Let me know if you're getting a different experience from me. It's not, flavour-wise, it's not bad. It's just the appearance, the sediment, the carb a little bit. That could be improved. And if that was better, I think it would elevate it probably at least 5 or 6 points more than that. And maybe you can get it to the highly recommended. It is one of the better stouts that I've had. It's very drinkable, flavoursome, coconutty, sweet chocolatey. It's a great sort of dessert after dinner drink, really. It really is a dessert in a glass, really. Pretty good. 74 out of 100. So that's it for me for today, and probably going to be the last of the stouts that you see from me. We know we don't review many stouts, but I like to throw them back in. One of my subscribers, if you are still watching up to this end, Mark S, that's all I know you as. I know you're a big stout lover, and you always sort of say, where's the stouts in that beer hall? Well, here's a stout for you. So, hope you've enjoyed this, and until the next one, you know what you've got to do. Keep on rocking.